Have you ever wondered why owning something expensive can sometimes feel like more of a burden than a blessing? In today's video, we dive into the surprising psychology behind luxury purchases and the hidden costs that come with trying to look rich. From unexpected service charges to financial strain, we'll explore fascinating studies and real-life stories that reveal why being flashy isn't always worth it. Plus, we'll talk about the Diderot Effect, how one lavish item can trigger a cycle of endless spending. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll rethink the true cost of keeping up appearances. Imagine this scenario. You're at a car wash, and the attendant tells you that washing your car will cost 7 times more than usual. You wonder, how can soap and water cost this much? The attendant replies, either pay or leave. You suddenly remember that in 2 days, you have to make the next installment payment for that very car. Oddly enough, research shows that people are charged more for services if they appear wealthy. In an experiment, shopkeepers were asked to quote prices for washing different cars. Unsurprisingly, the cost for washing a Mercedes-Benz was far higher than for an old Maruti Suzuki. Now picture this. It's your birthday, and your wealthy friend surprises you with a gift, a brand new Defender SUV. Overjoyed, you hug your friend and take the car out the next day to show off 6 months later. Everyone knows about your new car, but it doesn't bring you the same joy anymore. Then, when it's time for servicing, you're told it will cost 1 Indian rupee lakh, and you feel trapped. You can't even sell the car without offending your friend. This situation exemplifies the Diderot Effect. The Diderot Effect explains how purchasing one expensive item often leads to a cascade of other purchases. The story behind this effect comes from Denis Diderot, a poor philosopher who lived happily until one day a friend gifted him a luxurious scarlet robe. Suddenly, everything in his house seemed out of place next to that beautiful robe. He began upgrading everything, from his furniture to the paint in his home, and soon found himself deeper in financial trouble. He realized that this gift was the cause of his woes, and named the phenomenon after himself. A 2023 study showed that having a rich neighbor can harm your mental health. Why? Because when we see someone doing better than us, we start comparing ourselves, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy and even depression. For instance, imagine you have a job that pays you 50,000 Indian rupees a month. You're content, saving for a future home and investing in index funds, but when you learn that your neighbor's children have jobs with 2 crore packages, you suddenly feel less satisfied. Everyone's attention is on them. It's as though you're not working hard enough or aren't successful yet. Studies also show that children from lower middle-class families tend to be happier than those from wealthier backgrounds. Why? Because they aren't constantly under pressure to outdo others. Meanwhile, kids from wealthy families often feel the need to outperform their peers, leading to a never-ending cycle of competition and dissatisfaction no matter how well they do. There's always someone better to compare themselves to. Our childhood friends, the ones we made in elementary school, are often our truest friends because they liked us for who we were, not for our money. On the flip side, rich people often struggle to form genuine connections because many people want to befriend them for their wealth. In a study by the University of Michigan's Ross School of Business, participants were shown social media profiles of people wearing both casual and expensive clothes. The participants found the profiles of those who appeared rich less relatable and said they wouldn't invite them to their personal gatherings. Why? Because wealth can create barriers to forming authentic connections. Remember, spending on expensive things isn't just a financial decision. It can affect your mental well-being. This perspective shift becomes even more impactful when we consider purchases in terms of time. For example, if you make 25,000 Indian rupees a month and buy a phone that costs 1 Indian rupee lakh, you're essentially working 4 months just for that phone. When you think about it that way, it seems foolish. Right? Your goal is financial freedom. You might want to rethink the way you view money. For instance, I have a friend, Rahul, who has a portfolio worth 5 Indian rupees crore. Yet he still drives an old hatchback. He takes his family on foreign trips every year, though. When I asked him why he didn't upgrade his car, he joked, "Have you seen my new Mercedes-Benz?" I replied, "No, when did you get it?" He smiled and said, "You haven't seen it because it's in my bank account." He pointed out that true financial confidence comes not from looking rich, but from having wealth securely stored away. A podcast with Joe Rogan and Naval Ravikant further highlights this. Naval explained that the most intelligent people are those who can answer the question, can you get what you truly want? Many people can acquire things by working hard, but few truly understand what they want in life. They chase after what others have, thinking that will make them happy, only to feel empty once they attain it. I hope you found this video insightful, and I'll see you in the next one.